some of these YouTube videos of motorcycle fails.
Oh, yeah. Now this is a biker bar.
Welcome to Kickstands Up Radio, the podcast where we discuss all things motorcycles, from the latest gear to the best routes for your group ride. Here's your host, the Harley Hooligan, Rebel Rider Tony P, and he's here to rev up your engines and tickle your funny bone. So grab a cold one, pull up a leather seat, and let's ride into the hilarious world of biker culture. Just remember, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room in the garage.
Excuse me, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
And it never fails in these videos. It's always that same guy. And what I mean by that same guy, it's that same guy. You go, hey, Pete, you know that ramp isn't secured to the back of the truck 100%. That's okay. I've done this 1,000 times before. Yep. And then you got your great fail video of him running his freaking Harley right into the back of his tailgate and cracking the shit up out of it. And, you know, and then he looks back and goes, "Oh, I guess maybe the ramp wasn't tight enough." Stupidity runs rampant in this country now.
I'll tell you what. You? That's a funny thing. I'm so glad that we're just winging this like this. You know, have you seen the new towing? I don't want to say it's a tow truck, but the new flatbeds that you can put into the back of a truck to load up motorcycles.
Is that the one with the floor drops?
Yeah.
Okay, those aren't new.
I've seen them around for a while.
When I was driving up in Illinois for a little construction company, we rented those out. They're called Bulldog trailers, and that whole floor drops down. And the only reason I know about these so well is because I had a motorcycle back then, and I had no trailer. So I would tell the boss I had some big job to do every weekend, and if we had a Bulldog left over, I could take it. It was a lot easier.
Yeah,
because I didn't have to pay for it, though.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's see. What events do we have coming up here in the near future? Do you know?
Events?
Yeah, like, do we have any rallies or anything coming up here soon?
You know, I really don't know of anything offhand. I know my wife is, well, the people we were attached to before, they were going to throw a big picnic or a dinner of some sort and raise money for veterans and whatnot through the Gary Sinise Foundation. Well, my wife was put in charge of that, and she has made incredible headway into that organization, to the point she has the personal number of one of their directors, who has told her, anytime you want to put together your ideas, because my wife has got ideas like you wouldn't believe. My wife is extremely, extremely smart at organization and putting things into place. You know what I mean? She's really good at that. She always has been. Pisses me off because I can't do it. But the gist of the story is the only thing that I'm kind of in the. I know Kicking Wings down here, they have their little bike night every night, but, you know. Yeah. Okay, so what? I go down there and I look at a bunch of motorcycles and I eat chicken or a hamburger. Okay, night's done, come back home.
Yeah.
Movie. And, you know, it's like car shows and bike shows. Great, fantastic. I'm proud of you guys for spending all that money on your motorcycles and your cars, but it doesn't do me any good. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. But now, off-subject festivals, now believe it or not, me and my wife have gone to several things down here. We went to Strawberry Fest one year, and that was a complete waste. So I don't like that one. The Brooksville, they have their Blueberry Festival. I think that's coming up, or it's just passed. I'm not sure what it is. I know blueberry season out here is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And my wife and my daughter both like blueberries, so this house is like filled with blueberry shit all the time during that time, and it's just, I can't eat them.
I mean, I'm looking right now at a calendar of events, and I mean, I found some really cool things that are getting ready to come on. But this is one thing that, kind of like we was just talking about just a little bit ago. why are you going to hold a? Let me see if I can find this again. Hang on, just like here it is, June 7th in Tuckahoe, New York. June Brewery Bike Night. You're having a bike night at a brewery. I don't know about that. I'm just not sure about that. But I mean, I don't know where a lot of our listeners are from or a lot of our viewers are from. But man, I'm telling you what, there's different events coming up. I'm just perusing through these as I go. There's quite a few of them that are coming up. I don't see too many here in Florida right away. But
well, I know in my old hometown back in McHenry, Illinois, I think they're going to be having Fiesta Days soon, if I'm not mistaken. And that's a big city party that goes on up there, and a couple bands and some. They have some beer wagons up there and some food wagons and stuff like that. I went to them a couple times. They're over a series of 4 or 5 days. The whole small town, BS thing, the parade and it's really kind of campy, but it's a small town.
Looks like I don't know how far this is away from where you was, but Cave in the Rock, Illinois.
Yeah, that's not too far from where I used to live. That's maybe an hour.
You got that right there. For those in Illinois, man, I'm telling you, the Hog Rock River Rally, that's coming up June 8th. June 8th through the 11th, the Hard Rock River Rally. So
yeah, there is. If I'm thinking of the right place, there's also a campground near there called Mississippi Palisades.
There is campgrounds near there, but they don't give the name of them here on this. What I'm looking at now.
Oh, okay.
It does look like that there are.
I was going to say, if you want to go camp there, there's a really good place. I used to camp there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my first wife went missing when we went camping.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, I'm kidding. She ran away.
Took off running from you.
Took off. Are you kidding? That woman had a jet flame coming out of her ass.
Let's see.
Hey, you want to hear a good joke?
Go for it. I'm always up for good jokes.
Why do cows eat marijuana fields?
Why is that?
It's the pot calling the cattle back.
Dun, dun, dun.
Insert rib shot here.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh.
When we were talking about bikers and drinking and all that, with these people that we talked to this weekend, we also brought up the fact of people who smoke marijuana. And, is that the same or is it different? And myself, I'm an avid weed user. But I have a medical marijuana card. I'm not buying it from the kid down the street anymore. That reminds me real quickly. There's a story. One time I was out when I was truck driving in Illinois. They sent me to this little town out in the middle of nowhere called Bourbonnais. And I get in there. It's a shady little town, and it's like 2:00 in the morning, and I have like 4 or 5 hours before my load's going to be accepted. So I'm sitting in my truck at this truck stop, and I looked across the way, and there's a baby standing under the streetlight in this parking lot across the way. And I sat there and I watched this kid for like 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm thinking, that's a baby. I mean, it's a baby. Well, turned out it was just a midget in a diaper who was standing there, and he was selling weed. And he was selling weed, and I was disgusted at the fact at first that this man's dressed like this, and then on top of it, you're selling weed. I mean, come on, man!
Wow.
You're out here dressed like a baby, and you're selling weed, and it really pissed me off because I was $5 short of a 30-ounce or a good ounce bag. So, and that little bastard baby wouldn't budge on the price either. I was like, come on, man! 45 is all I got. I need a quarter. Come on.
Oh. Have you been down to the new Harley shop down in Wesley Chapel yet?
No, I will never go down there.
I haven't been down there yet. I thought about going down there because I'm one of them stupid guys that collect those the poker chips. You know.
No, I don't know what those are.
Oh, now come on.
No, seriously, no.
You don't know what
My wife has kept me under a very heavy rock for the last 15 years.
Oh, my God. All right. Jim, I'm going to have to show you because each dealer location has the poker chips. They have about 3 or 4 different variations of these poker chips. You can either get just the regular printed ones, or you can get the ones that have the pictures on them, and they're large print, full color.
Oh, so they would be like a challenge coin from police officers.
Very similar, yes.
Okay. All right. Now I know the style you're talking about. They're about that big around.
Yep.
So
They're no different than any poker chip, size wise. They're exactly identical to it. But each dealer, even the one down here on 54 in Newport Richey, they've got 3 different styles. But you can go in there and you can buy one of those poker chips from each one of the locations that's owned by that dealer. Okay. Each Harley dealer has their own. Currently, right now, and there's some people out there that collect them chips, and they've had them for, they may have 30, 40, 50, 500 of them. Me, myself, I have somewhere around I want to say 60 from different locations across the United States. And
so could you go online? Let's say I wanted to go back to my old hometown and Woodstock Harley Davidson. Can I go online, you think, and buy one from them?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
Absolutely, you can.
I didn't know if this was an in-store purchase thing only, or
no. You can actually go online and buy them from any location. Currently, I'm trying to find, because of my genealogy, I'm trying to find Roman poker chips from Harley Davidson dealers over in Rome. And there's one that I'm specifically looking for. So any of our viewers out there, or any of our listeners, if you have the one with the Roman gladiator on it from Rome, Italy, let me know. Shoot me an email. Let's talk about how much you want for it. And I mean, they're not expensive.
That from Caesar Harley?
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to be able to get my hands on one. But the chips themselves, they're only about maybe $2-3 a piece, something like that.
Oh, that's not bad. I thought they were going to be like 15 or 20 or something.
No, they're very inexpensive. They're very inexpensive.
Honestly, I've never seen them before. I never have.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. And they've been around for some time. But the idea is that wherever you travel in the U.S., you're supposed to pick up a poker chip from that location or that dealer along the way there.
Now, see, my problem is I'm too poor to shop at a Harley dealer.
I am too. But
my thing is, if I had $5,000 in my hand and I walked into a dealership, I'd be broke in about 10 minutes.
Oh, hell yes. And the thing is, it is so funny. Believe it or not, 2 years ago, my brother-in-law and his fiance each of them bought me a $50 Harley gift card. I can go into the dealership, get whatever I wanted
for $50.
$100, $50 each. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking. I had to go back home for a funeral. Got home, went to the dealership back home, back in Missouri. Went to go use those gift cards and I couldn't. It's like, well, shit. Why not? Because they're specific to the location where you bought them from. I said, well, shit. Me and my wife are standing there at the dealership. We both had our arms full of different shit that was all going to total just a little bit over $100, And it was all little stuff, but it was, like the discount shirts, things like that. Throw them up on the counter, went to go pay for them, and lo and behold, can't use the damn gift card. I was so damn pissed. Oh, I was. And beyond that, it was so funny because I decided, because we couldn't use the gift card, I still wanted the shit because, it's the
You
first
had it
time
there
that
all
I've
day.
been. Yeah, it's the first time I've been back home in 7 years. So I wanted the stuff, and I was like, well, shit. What do I do now? I guess I just have to put it on a credit card.
Well, my wife just recently went out and purchased me a set of Harley tennis shoes,
Yeah.
Harley gloves, a Harley helmet, and what else did she get me? Something else. She got herself a helmet. She got herself a couple shirts and a pair of gloves. And we got that all offline off of Amazon. And the whole thing, I think, come up to right around, what, 500 some odd dollars.
Wow.
And that was, yeah, the same stuff. My wife is, first off, a few things about her. She's incredibly intelligent, but she's made one fatal flaw in her life. She married me. Okay. She had that one dumb moment in her life where she looked at this and went, yeah, I want to look at that for 15 years now. I told her, I said, we need to get your eyes examined. Then I thought, no, better not. She'll leave me if she gets a clear view. But she is a bargain hunter. I mean, a shopper, a researcher. If they're selling it for a dime, I bet you someplace will sell it for a nickel, and I'll find them. She'll find them she'll search the internet ends and find deals. So what this little Harley haul that she bought for us, we priced it at the local Harley dealerships online, and it was well over $800, almost $900 worth of stuff.
Wow. Damn. Yeah.
And the shoes alone, she paid $60 for my shoes at the dealerships, and on their websites, those were $150 shoes.
Oh, that I'm surprised about. I'm surprised they weren't more.
Well, they're tennis shoes. So
yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. They still got that HD on there. And the HD, as everyone knows, HD, that stands for $100.
$100. Yep.
$100.
Yep. Just like the old saying for boat, BOAT.
Yep.
Bust
Bring
out
on
another 1,000.
Yep. See, now mine was always bring on another 1,000.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
When I lived in Illinois, I was a boat guy for a while and a jet ski guy for a couple summers. Because I was married to a woman whose parents had boats up the butthole.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we had 3 boats just at our house that we could just walk down to the river. Oh, I think I'll take the Chris Craft today. Okay, I'll take the Owens. Okay, and then plus they had their big ass 42-foot O'Day sailboat up in Wisconsin somewhere. I forget where. That we used to have to go to, and just so. Yeah, we used to always refer to it as bust out another 1,000.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Harley's no different. It really isn't.
Exactly. And, like I was telling you, we was talking about what I did with that gift card. Whenever I got back home, and granted, like I said, this was 2 years ago that I got this. Got back home, and I'm that frugal type of person, that I don't like to spend money. I really don't.
I don't either.
And
if it's for somebody else, though, I will.
Yeah. I went back into my wallet the other day, and I realized I still have one of those gift cards left. I was like, I guess I need to go down to the dealer.
I still have a gift card to Texas Roadhouse for $25 for my wife's Christmas party at her work from 2 years ago.
And my wife, she's kind of the same way in some aspects. She is that bargain shopper just like yours. She likes to look for the deals. She likes to look for the bargains, all that good jazz. She is also one of those, she's not real frugal. She's not as frugal as I am. But again, she's got a gift card that she got same year from Under Armour, and she still hasn't spent it. And I think that's mostly because, I don't go to the malls where Under Armour is. It's just too much for me.
I can't remember the last time I was in any kind of mall-like setting.
Yeah.
It's just been that long. I mean, that was an 80s concept. That was a 90s concept, and it's dying out. We're going to come to a point, and it might not be in our lifetime, but there's going to come a point when there's no brick and mortar buildings left.
Yeah.
There's going to
Yep.
be no businesses that you can go to.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be delivered to your damn door,
Yep.
and you're going to have to sign for it. And then when they get you on that system, what they're going to do is then they're going to start saying, well, you got this last Tuesday. You don't need any more for another week. You're fine, even though you don't have any of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, it is.
and then we can upgrade to our electric Harleys.
Not a chance in hell.
And then we can sound like gold wings going down the road. Did you hear that? What was that? It was a gold wing. I thought it was a pissed off mosquito.
Oh man, I'll tell you. Hey, okay, are you familiar with Rotundo West?
It sounds familiar.
Okay, it is here on the west coast of Florida. It's south of Sarasota, but north of Fort Myers. So right in that area. Now, the only reason I brought that up is Rotundo West, they've got a VFW charity poker run coming up. And that's coming up on the 24th of this month. So any of our viewers and listeners down there, if y'all hit that up, shoot us a message. Let us know how it goes. Let us know if you won that big old pot. But as far as local, not AMC, but a local writing organization is got a run coming up in July. I'm
who is that?
considering going. It is what's the name of this organization? Damn it, I'm drawing a blank now. They have 2 chapters, one in Pinellas and one in Pasco.
Is it the Suncoast?
Yes, that's it. Suncoast Brotherhood.
Right.
They have a run coming up. They're the Pinellas chapter's putting it on the 15th of July. It's a soaked and sore ass poker run. So that I've been considering hitting. Up. It's going to start out. I say it's sponsored by Suncoast Brotherhood, but the Florida Full Throttle magazine are actually the ones that are hosting it.
Okay. Yeah, I've met the guy who owns that a couple times.
Yeah, and they're starting out at the Quaker Steak and Lube down there in Clearwater. Now,
Never been there. So.
oh my God, I'm telling you what, I'm not a huge fan of that place. I like it. It's not one of my favorites, but just across the street is one of my favorite damn places. And
What's
that's
that?
OCC Roadhouse.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about Bert's Barracuda.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I ate at OCC last summer.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was last summer, and yeah, it was very good food. A little bit overpriced.
Yeah.
And it's a good place. Don't get me wrong; it's a very nice place. But Paul Senior really is got a big head. And when you go to the place, if you've never been there, be prepared to be OD'd on Paul Senior's image, because it is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It
and I'm
is
telling
everywhere.
you what,
that man is the biggest media whore I've ever seen in my life.
but,
It's ridiculous.
It's so funny because I am a huge Paul Senior fan. I like Paul Senior. I
do
can't
too.
stand his son, Paul Jr.
Oh, he's a dick.
Yeah,
He's
and I did meet him in person. I met him over at Daytona one year, and I just no. Now, as far as like Paul Senior goes and OCC Roadhouse, man, I tell you, I'd love to be able to get them on this show, just to bring them on. I'd love to be able to have their name attached to it.
That would be nice.
Just because of their draw that they do get. Yes, they have a lot of people that they have a lot of draw. They really do. And it's the suburban bikers that are really their draw. It's not the true, get out and ride.
Have you ever heard the horror stories of the people who've had OCC choppers?
Oh, yes.
They ride terrible. They're
Yeah.
uncomfortable. They break down.
Yeah.
They're showpieces. That's all they are. They're
Yep.
showpieces. That one guy, I forgot who it was, but he won one of the OCC choppers, and he sold it right away. And the TV series came after him and sued him because he was supposed to keep that bike for, I think, 4 years minimum.
Yep.
And he sold it like in 6 months.
Yeah. I actually, you've heard of those, and I don't know if you've seen it or heard of it or not, but they have that Dream Chopper competition.
Yes. Yeah.
And I entered it, and I've gotten fairly decently far into it. My cousin also, he entered it. He got fairly decently far into it. But did you know the cost that is incurred with winning one of those bikes? You know what that is?
Taxes and transportation, and
Not
I'm sure
just
they
the
get you
taxes.
for everything.
It's so funny because my cousin, he called me up and he said, "Hey man," he goes, "I'm in the semifinals." He goes, "I think I'm going to have to drop out." It's like, why is that? He looked up the taxes. He looked up the requirements because of what he would have to pay to be able to even get it. Even if you win it, you think you're going to get it for free? Hell no.
No.
If he would have won this thing, he would have still had to pay almost $60,000.
Well, something else that was I just saw the other day. It had to do with reality shows and how they were faked. That show something about they do something to your house, and then that guy says, "Move that truck," and they pull out, and this house is there, and these people go, "Oh my God!"
Oh yeah, yeah.
One of those people came forward and said that they did have the work done to their house. They were told the entire time by producers, "We don't care what you want because we're doing it our way. If you don't like it, tough shit."
Yeah.
So they went along with it, and when they hated it. They hated it.
Yeah.
But they were told by the producers, "You're supposed to go completely insane over this when we reveal it to you." And then they said 6 months down the road, they got a bill from the TV station and the producers for $200,000 for all the work that was done.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah. They didn't realize that when they signed the contract, they didn't have a lawyer, and there was a stipulation in there that they could come after you for half the cost.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So they had to sell their house.
Yeah. And people are, you get into those shows like that, the reality shows. I'm not a huge reality TV person. The only thing that I do like, which y'all can cuss me up one side down the other, but I'm a stupid fan of that damn TV show Big Brother. That's the only one that I'm a fan of. I watch Survivor too every now and again, but my wife.
You want to know something funny about Survivor? Survivor's producer, Mark, whatever his name is, he was in Chicago doing a radio tour before Survivor even filmed one episode. He was on the radio with a guy named Jonathan Brandmeier out of Chicago. Well, I was always calling into the Brandmeier show, and I was kind of a semi-regular. And when they're Mark Goodman, is that his name? I think. But anyway, he's talking about this new show, and Johnny says, "Hey, would you consider some people from Chicago?" And he goes, "Yeah, let's get some people on the phone." So I got on. I got into the line. I got to the point where a producer from Survivor called me and said, "Hey, man, we want you on the show." And I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't even know what I'm getting myself into. So I'm thinking, this is cool. I'm all racked and jacked. I'm waiting for this phone call to go be on this stupid show called Survivor. And I get this letter in the mail from CBS Productions or whatever. And it basically says, "Screw you. We tested somebody else and they did better. Well, that person that they tested that did better turned out to be the female truck driver from Wisconsin, Susan, on the first episode.
No kidding.
I lost out to that bitch.
Wow. Wow.
I lost out to a female fucking truck driver.
That's funny as shit.
And I was a truck driver at the time, too.
And I mean, the thing is I mean, like I was saying, my wife, she watches all those damn reality shows. And
Oh, God.
I cannot stand them. You know, it was the other day she comes in, wants me to sit down with her and watch TV. What'd she do? She turns on that reality show, Farmer Wants a Wife. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Farmer Wants a Wife?
Yeah, I had to go out in my shop and do some work.
That's a TV show?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah. They take 4
There's a TV
farmers.
show where farmers try to get wives?
Oh, yeah. They take 4 farmers from somewhere in the country and hook them up with these hoochie mamas that are, you know, I think they take it. Like I said, I've never watched an episode of it. I've only seen commercials. And from what it looks like, they take, I want to say probably 6 to 10 gals back to their farms and see how they perform on the farm. And that lets them know if they're going to wind up getting married. Now, I don't know. I don't know how it transpired. I haven't asked. I don't want to know. I'm not going to watch the show a day in my life. I just... That's as dumb to me as them Bachelor and Bachelorette shows.
I just wanted to be the guy in the room who's listening to the conversation of some producer talking to some head honcho at the TV. Look, it's going to fly. We're going to bring in these 6 hoochie mamas, okay?
Yep.
They're going to go to these farmers. These farmers ain't seen women in years. It's going to be a great show. The chemistry's going to be fantastic. Oh my God.
It like I said, it was one of those things where I'd never watched an episode, and I will never ever watch an episode.
Well, you know that other stupid show, 30 Day Fiance, is that what it's called? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Where they meet each other Tuesday, and 30 days later they're getting married.
And this is no bullshit. My day job that I have, I work with this guy. He got married. He got engaged and got married in 90 days. 90 days. He met the gal. They started dating. Within 90 days, they tied the knot. Granted, I mean, I hope it works out for him. I could never do something like that.
I worked with a guy over here at my last driving job I had here in Florida for a local plumbing company.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was the nicest guy in the world. I mean, just a cool guy, a little geeky, but not offsetting too much. And he would talk to me about his wife, and his son, blah, blah, blah. Finally, I said to him, one day, you got a picture of them? And I said, I'm just kind of getting them. Yeah. So he whips up this picture of this girl, and I'm looking at the street sign in the background. And I said to him jokingly, I said, oh, she must be on vacation in Russia. And he goes, no, she lives in Siberia.
What?
Wait a minute. How does your wife live in Siberia? Well, she's not technically my wife.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
I said, are you sending this thing money? Yeah, why? I said, do you realize that it's probably not even her you're talking to? Oh, no, I've talked to her thousands of times. It's her. I said, video chat? Well, it's a kind of a grainy picture because Siberian internet's so bad. Like, oh my God.
What the fuck ever. That's bullshit.
I can't imagine being so hard up for a woman that I would pay some woman just to talk to me on the phone.
All right, now here you go. This is, I've got to get ready to get going, but I do have to bring this up since you brought that up. Mail order brides. Okay. Have you ever known anybody that's done it?
Yeah, I've known stories of people.
I do know someone personally that has done it. Actually, I know 2 people that tried it. One person succeeded. The first person that tried it, he was about my age. So he's mid-50s now. And he had this ongoing relationship with this gal, talked to her quite a few times, talked to her on the phone, and this was before video conferencing and before video calls and stuff like that, but talked to her over the phone, and it just wound up not working. He didn't send any money, none of that stuff. They couldn't get it to work. But the guy that I know that actually done it, God's honest truth, if I'm lying, I'm dying. May I be struck down by lightning. My dad. He did a mail order bride, and he pissed off my aunts and uncles by doing this, and my grandmother. He did a mail order bride for a gal from Russia. Her name was Yulia. Yulia. She was younger than me. She was a nurse from Moscow, and she lived in war-torn Moscow, or a war-torn part of Russia, where they could only have running water a certain amount of hours throughout the day. There was a Hard Rock Cafe over there that got shot up by the Russian mafia because they refused to pay dues. So my dad actually did pay for her to come over here after they got married. He went over to Russia, got married, got her a green card. He came back home. She couldn't come back with him yet. She had to wait 90 days after he came back home. I don't know why. I didn't ask. But he got back home, and 90 days later, she comes over. Okay? After that 90 days that she came over, she was here maybe about 2 months, maybe. She hated the U.S.
Oh, no.
She went back to Russia. After all the money he spent to get married and bring her over, she went back to Russia.
It's almost as bad as adopting a child from another country. You have no idea what you're getting genetically.
Oh, hell yeah.
You have no idea. And these idiot yuppies that run out and, well, we're purchasing a baby today. The mother's drug addicted, but we're okay with that. Okay, yeah, sure you are. Yeah. Wait till the kid's 5 years old and he's holding a butcher knife over your throat while you're sleeping, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
And then tell me how wonderful this idea was because mommy felt so barren in her childbearing years that she has to now buy a kid to make herself feel better.
Yep. Well, Florida Jim, it's been a pleasure today, my man. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and cut it loose today.
All right.
But for any of our viewers, any of our listeners, you can reach us at our email address right here down below. It's kickstandsupradio@gmail.com. Shoot us over some questions. Shoot us over some ideas for future episodes. We'd love to be able to hear from you. And as far as that goes, Jim, real quick, before we leave, I do have to ask, on our last episode, you had plugged one of your friends that did the candles. Has she mentioned anything? Has she gotten any calls? Mentioned us at all?
She has not from our broadcast, but I was talking about it on some other people on YouTube, and she got a few orders from that. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I love to hear it.
So if anybody wants to know, it's Christabel Candles. She's a Florida girl. She's out of Flagler County. She's up there around St. Augustine area, I guess it would be. Just give her, go look at her website, ChristabelCandles.com. I'm sure you're going to like what she has. My wife buys them from her, and she loves them. So. And I don't have a sense of smell, so I couldn't tell you if they smelled like dog shit or if they smelled like roses.
And then our other sponsor, thank you very much to RebelRoadAuthentic.com, custom vinyl decals, T-shirts. Know for a fact they actually just booked a new band that they're working with. They're making T-shirts and vinyl decals for a band, another local band out of Florida called Crimson Eclipse. If you get a chance to catch one of their shows, man, I'm telling you what, these kids, they're all autistic, but they rock. I mean, they rock. They just played a live show, which I went out and caught at the Born Free Pub and Grill down in Tampa. And it was a great great show. Can't wait to see their shows, coming up more and more. So, but rebelroadauthentic.com, it's your one-stop shop for vinyl decals, custom t-shirts, drink tumblers, and so much more. Go in there and pay them a visit. If you mention radio, you get a 10% off discount. So mention radio at checkout, save 10%. And just tell them that Kickstands Up Radio sent you their way. Great group of guys, great small business, and it is, again, it's a local Florida business. So, with that being said, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Shoot us a message, kickstandsupradio@gmail.com, and we'll see y'all on the flip side.
You can follow me on Florida Jim at 1018 on YouTube.
Absolutely. All right. See y'all later.